Talking about something very interesting in this session as well. We are talking about hacking, right? So as an engineering graduate myself, I have I've always been fascinated by this word hacking. We have used it in enormous times. We used to say we have done it many a times itself, right? And talking about hacking and how ethical hacking works, right? The difference between that and how cybersecurity or how companies are looking forward for improving the cybersecurities and how they are promoting ethical hacking in their platforms. We have with us Dr. Sonia. She's from Yogananda Institute of Artificial Intelligence, and she's assistant professor with Shoolini University. She is a PhD from Delhi University, and she has an experience of 16 years working with both Delhi University and Shoolini University as assistant professor. Plus, she has published around 30 research papers. So there's no one better than her to talk about it today itself. So, with all honor, we welcome you, Dr. Sonia. Please continue about today's session.
First of all, good evening to all. And I welcome you all in today's webinar. And today we will talk about the ethical hacking. Let me share the screen first. My screen is visible to you, right?
Yes, Dr. Sonia, you can continue. It is
yeah. So before starting with the hacking, first it's the agenda of today. That is, what is hacking, what is ethical hacking, goals, why ethical hacking is so important, and the programming needs for ethical hacker, which I got as a question many times. Then ethical hacking tools, and the most fascinated question for all of you, that is job opportunities and salary prospects for the ethical hacking. So now we start with the thing that what is hacking. So to get the better understanding of the hacking, first we take an example of a home. If some thief comes inside it, then he will first analyze much about the doors, windows, whatever doors and windows are there. He will analyze it. Then he will find out the weakest point at the home, and then from which window or from which door he can break into to enter inside the home, and then finally in which room he has to enter to find the expensive things, important documents, confidential documents, and many more things. Overall, this means we can say that the particular home has been hacked. So when the same thing happens in the online systems, online softwares, or online websites, then we can say that it is hacking. Now, this activity is too much malicious, by which data of many users has been stolen, or sometimes they get affected by this data. So in essence, we can say that hacking is the act of compromising digital devices and networks through which unauthorized access to an account or computer system has been done. Hacking is not always considered as a malicious act, but most commonly it is associated with the illegal activity or data theft by the cyber criminals. Now, before we go ahead, let me just familiarize you guys with some of the most commonly used terminologies in the hacking world. So firstly, who is a hacker? We can say that hacker is a person who finds or exploits the weaknesses in a computer system or network to gain some kind of access or to gain some illegal access. Now, hackers are classified according to their intents of their action. That means according to their behavior. So Hackers can be classified as a white hat hacker, which are also known as ethical hackers or penetration testers. They hack the system only when they have the permission to do so. And they do it for the security of the organization, not for the bad intent. Then comes the black hat hacker, which is also a hacker, but it is also known as unethical hacker or a cracker. In this, the people hack the system illegally without any kind of permission to steal the money or to achieve their own illegal goals. Now comes the third kind of hacker, that is gray hat hacker. In case of gray hat hacker, we can say gray hat hacker is a hybrid between the white and black. That is a mixture of these two. They can hack any system even if they don't have the permission to do so, and they just hack the system, but they never steal money or damage the system. And we can say they may reveal them to the system owner in return for some bug bounties. That means they have the purpose, but they will do it fairly. Like, what is bug bounty? In which we can say, like, some companies, Google, Uber, Facebook, etc., actually put out a lot of bug bounties. Now, bug bounties are can be explained as telling the public that you are free to actually find a bug in my system. They leave it onto the public, and if you do so, then tell me about it, and if it is right, then I will reward you. That means that is a very good thing, and you can take it as an opportunity for earning the money also. Now comes to the goals of ethical hacking. Now, ethical hackers have some goals that they need to meet if they are working for a company. Firstly, what they require, they need to protect the privacy of organizations from being hacked. Then, secondly, they have transparently report all the identified weaknesses in the computer system, and then for the organization. Then thirdly, they have to inform hardware and software vendors that they are catering to the companies for the identified weaknesses. Moreover, how they can be patched. So these are the three main goals of a ethical hacker. Now coming to the next one, that why this ethical hacking is important for us. This is the most required question, because whenever we go for a certain thing, we need the answer that why we are doing so. So in this, as all of us know that nowadays information is the most important and most selling commodity around the world. So we can say that information is one of the most valuable assets of an organization, and keeping information secure can protect an organization image and save an organization. Moreover, hacking can lead to loss of lot of business for the organization. We can say that PayPal is there, who get affected. Twitter, Facebook, many organizations got affected due to hacking. So now ethical hacking puts them a step ahead of cyber criminals who would otherwise lead to lot of loss of businesses. So basically, an ethical hacker would try to mimic a hacker. Now we comes to the thing that we talk about the skills. Okay, if you want to become an hacker, so firstly you need to be a good at programming. Now, programming languages is a language that is used to develop computer programs, and there are plenty of examples like HTML, JavaScript, Python, PHP, and you should be good not in all of them, but in some of these. Okay, so secondly, you should be very good and in-depth knowledge of operating systems, especially because you will be working on mostly on the Linux environment in the ethical hacking. And at last, you should be proficient in networking. And we must say that networking is required because you should know that what is coming in and what is going out at the time of data transfer, and how actually the packets are delivered from your computer to target system, what kind of intrusions has taken place in between, and many more things. Now, whenever we have a question that why learn to program, hackers, we can say that hackers are the problem solvers or tool builders. Learning how to program will help you to implement the solution to the problems. Then writing program as a hacker will help you to automate many tasks, which would usually takes a lot of time, or rather to complete. And writing programs can also help you to identify and exploit programming errors in applications that would be targeting. Moreover, you can customize the already existing applications and add methods to suit according to your needs. Now, many people ask me about what programming language should I learn if I'm trying to become an ethical hacker. Well, I must say, after learning and after teaching so many years, there is no one in the world who can answer it, because you will be dealing with bunch of services, and specific things can't work out in this. There are a lot of ethical hacking tools like NetSparker, Babsuit. NetSparker can scan the system and network, and map can see your intrusions, acutants, and then Hashcat, and then SQL map, which is mostly required for the SQL injections, and which is mainly required whenever we are working with the data sets. Before that, whenever we are moving on the tools for ethical hacking, I must say that you don't have to reinvent, because I know that you all gets worried that how we can go with the ethical hacking if we don't know this thing and that thing. So I must say that you don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. There are always number of open source programs that are readily usable out there, but it is usually preferable to customize it and customize the existing applications, so that you can add your own methods according to your needs. And if you don't have no idea to program, then it will be impossible to customize the tools. But open source programs are there, and some you can say 40 to 50% of hacking you can do with that also. Here I have tested out some ethical hacking tools using Kali Linux for you. These are simple tools. You have to download the Kali Linux on the virtual platform, and then you can run this. First one is web, which can identify or which can answer what is that website. That means all the details about the website. That is, you can say that it can scan the web addresses, domains, and it can have more than 1700 plugins. So these are the outputs that I have got by running this example. In this, I have tried it on our website, our university website, that is shooliniuniversity.com, and I get to know many things, that what is the title of website, then domains, then which cookies are running, HTTP server of that, and many more things. Then comes the next tool, that is the Harvester, and this is also Kali Linux tool, and which can search the active mails and hosts on the web address on a particular source. Like I have run this on the Shoolini University, and I have found that at the particular instance, how many mails are open and how many hosts are there which are working at a particular instance. Like the Sherlock also, which is used to gather the information related to assigned username. Like I have added the name, you can see over here. I have added a name of one of my student and on which websites he is active. I can find it out. Red Hawk to get the IP addresses, injections, SQL injections, and the sensitive files from the system. It can scan and find out the vulnerabilities over the system. Now, moving on, let's talk about the social engineering, which is a widely used process for an ethical hacking. It is an art of manipulating a user or for a bunch of users, I can say, offer to reveal confidential information that can be used to gain unauthorized access to a computer system. Mainly, it is trying to be, we can say, exploiting the human emotions, kindness, greed, and curiosity of the human to gain access to the restricted access. And likewise, like I have shown you over here, that it is working on the greed and kindness of a people by which they are taking benefit and try to reveal the information from it. Now, social engineering can take many forms like familiarity exploit, which says that if someone is familiar to you, then you can gain or you can take the information from that person. Like anyone who is my friend or relative, we will generally share the informations with them. Then comes the next way, that is intimidating circumstances. In this, what happens that people trying to avoid the people, and avoidance create the curiosity at the other side, and they will try to convince them or try to just be friendly with them, and they will reveal the information in the talks. Or other way in this is that attacker pretend to have a heated argument over the phone or directly, and due to this the other side will get confused or conscious, and they will reveal the information. Now, third kind is phishing attack. I know that maybe you all know about or even listen the word that phishing is there. It is a tricky thing that tricks the private data from the user, that tricks the persons or users to take the private data from the users. In this, what is happening that a genuine website or a genuine person is to be impersonated, and then the suspect other side, they don't know that this is not the genuine one and it is a fake one and just looking like the actual one, and they will reveal their account names, passwords, and some types like credit card information also they can reveal. And one kind of data breach through this phishing attack is dominoes, in which in 2020 around 180 million orders data has been leaked through the dominoes, and till now it's coming on the website, like it's showing that how to check if your dominoes data has been leaked. Then you can find out the details over here. That means that data is leaked forever. Likewise, Twitter, Facebook all gets this kind of phishing attacks. Then comes the tailgating. As the name says, that the person will go behind a certain person. So it involves following the users behind as they enter the restricted area due to human courtesy or due to unknowing behavior of a human. Then, like you have seen in the hospitals, the persons hide themselves and then with the ambulance, in the ambulance or something with the trash, they will enter into the restricted areas. Like that, tailgating is working. Then comes the human emotions. As I have explained you, that for the greed and kindness or for exploiting the human emotions, by exploiting the human emotions, they will reveal the data. In essence, we can say that the prerequisites for the ethical hacking requires the Linux kernel, programming languages, and the computer networks. These three things are required at most, and topics that can be covered under ethical hacking. I must say that this is a very good course, and it is your favorite. It will become your favorite course if you go for it, because it has lot of things, and once you started with the one thing, you got curious about the next and the next. So it involves introductions to cybersecurity and ethical hacking, then cryptography, network security, web security, and vulnerability analysis, threat hunting and handling, and many more topics are there under the ethical hacking. Regarding the job opportunities, you can design any kind of projects. Like I can give you an example of keylogger system, which can be designed, by which if you design that system can be designed very easily. Very little bit of coding is there, and that can be designed. So by which, if you work on your keyboard, and that can be revealed, whatever letters you are pressing on your keyboard, that will be revealed at the other side. So keylogger system is very common and very, you can say, helpful and fascinated also. Then comes the firewalls. You can design the firewalls, by which firewalls are there in all the systems, by which they can track the data that is coming into the system from the network and going out of the system from the network. Then if someone is just in the development projects, software developer, then also they can, if they have the interest in cybersecurity, they can go for username and password. They will always store their username and password directly, but they must know that that must be hashed, and for that kind of projects you can go for. Then there are a lot of internships that has been provided. Deloitte is providing the internship for this. Cybercell is there, ISRO is there, and many more companies are giving internships for this cybersecurity. So a lot of scope is there over it. Then comes to the placements. Placement requires a certain kind of certification, like ethical hacker, certificate for ethical hackers, SENS Institute will provide it, OSCP provided, and we can also say that the persons with the computer background will get the preference in placement for cybersecurity, because to deal with them, as I have told you, that programming is important in this. So to deal with them, it's necessary, not necessary. I must say that it's a preferable thing. For the placement, if the company is small, then their starting salary as a fresher for you is 2 to 3.5 lakhs per annum. And if you go for a big company or big MNCs, then there is a salary of 5 to 8 lakhs per annum. And in years, or with the experience of 3 to 5 years, it can, or with your efficiency, it can go rise up to 10 to 15 lakh per annum. And more experience, more will the salary. And moreover, I just want to share with you one more thing, that this cybersecurity is running at a large scale. It has a lot of demand nowadays, and nowadays many companies are hiring for this. But whenever they are hiring, they are not hiring you for by the name of ethical hacker. Like, you will not see in the jobs or in the requirements that there is a requirement of our ethical hacker. They will call for the security analyst, tech secure support engineer for the security, or a system security engineer. Like that, there are the tags for the jobs. So you should go for this. And I must suggest that this is the best thing that you can do in your life. Thank you. Any questions?
Firstly, thanks a lot, Dr. Sonia. That was really, really very informative session, right?
Thank you.
And I cannot agree with you more that somewhere down the line, hacking is a very interesting subject, right? Honestly saying, watching and grown up watching all the movies, right? All the hacking movies. So I'm sure there is a child in everyone. Yeah, yeah. So there is a child in everyone, and everyone somewhere down the line, everyone want to be a hacker, right? I always wanted to be the circle that I was in. Everyone wanted to be, and it was really great that you showed. One thing I would really like to highlight here: there are no such jobs as a hacker. There are bug removers. There are other things itself, but when we talk about the role of a hacker is very subjective in different organizations. It is based on securities, it's based on cyber security, networking, and other departments itself, technical supports, and others. But they are always hackers. Someone who's learned ethical hacking has been always been in demand. And I believe till the time networks are there, till the time we are using computers, they will always be in demand in the future as well.
Actually,
Right.
Rohit, my one of the student has asked me, my many students even asked me that, ma'am, we are not getting any job with the title that ethical hacking is required or something like that. So we are going on the right way or not, we don't know. That's
Of course.
why I have to keep it in the slides. That's you should not go for the ethical hacking. You should go for the security analyst, security engineer, tech supports in security, and something like that.
Yeah, I understand itself. I have a question from you, and which is because related to something that I also study. So, like, is it hacking is equivalent to web scraping or something like that? Are these means web scraping is also somewhere down the line legal? So, is it also hacking legal on certain websites that we do, or is it
Yeah,
completely?
hacking is legal if, like I have told you earlier also, in the like if you are not doing it for a certain kind of stealing money or something like that,
Okay,
and
yeah,
for some purpose, then it's okay to do with it, and you are not harming someone,
I
then
get it.
it's okay. Yeah.
Definitely. And because our program covers artificial intelligence and machine learning, so there are certain subjects which would involve people, students also, especially the enthusiasts who want to learn data sciences in the future, or subjects like such. Data processing or data scraping or web scraping or web crawling are part of it. So that is where someone can consider themselves as a hacker itself. So to scrap data from either Amazon or other things itself, right?
Yes,
So yeah, we have few questions from you, and I believe we are going to have people asking questions because obviously it's an interesting subject to talk about. So I'll go through the questions first, and you can answer them itself. So
yeah,
we
I
have
will.
Ray. Yeah, so we have Ray, and he's asking what are the types of ethical hackers. So
Types of
yeah, yeah, what are the types of ethical hackers?
hacking can be done through data breaching, social engineering, which includes many types of ethical hacking, and like that, you can go for man in middle attack. So these three are the basic categorization of ethical hacking. Moreover, we can categorize it in different ways, but these three are the main in which social engineering attacks consider many things. And if we go for the phases of ethical hacking, then there is the information gathering, then moving ahead with other things.
Okay, thanks for that answer, Dr. Sonia. We have Viru. He's asked us what is IP NAD MAC address.
IP and MAC address, I think so.
Yeah, he's asked. I guess it is just a spelling mistake, but yeah.
Yeah. So yes, IP address and MAC address two are the different things. In case of, first we will go for the MAC address. The primary purpose of MAC address is to ensure physical address of a given device or a computer. And when we go for the IP address, it can define a computer's, we can say, logical address. So logical address can be defined by the IP address. Okay, like in your mobile also, you have seen that there are two addresses, MAC address
And thank you for that. And we have Lagvi who's cautious, and she want to know how to prevent phishing. How to she want to understand how we can prevent ourselves getting phished by someone or something. Someone should not do those malpractices. How we can prevent ourselves from that?
we should keep ourselves aware of the things. Like if someone is sending us the mail, phishing considers emails and through the message phishings also. So if there is some kind of mail, then we have to first recognize in a better way that whether this is from the official source or from the authentic person or not. Like that, if smishing is there, that means SMS is coming. Then also we have to first analyze the SMS and then we have to open it. Otherwise, if we don't know about the person who is messaging us, then there is no need to open it.
All right. Yes. So the best is be always cautious. We always see that all those messages which are a bit tricky, right? They have been placed and made with so much of intelligence, right? That we are very curious to open and curious to see what is it all about, right?
And
we always get.
all of us listen about the lottery messages that comes.
Yes.
This lottery, you have this much of money, you just share your account details, and all those things are coming under the phishing.
Yeah, so we get trapped on all those things by our greed or something, but definitely we should be more cautious about all these things, and definitely we should make aware people who have taken this session should also make people aware around themselves also, that how to prevent themselves. You can also, what you have learned today, you can tell it to other people as well. Then we have Ayushi, Dr. Sonia. She's asking what are some of the common tools used by ethical hackers?
Okay, common tools, they also use the same tools like us. Like Nessus is there, which is the most common tool, which can scan all the information, scan the vulnerabilities in the systems, and let you know what are the intrusions in the system. Then comes the Nmap tool, Netcraft is there. Many tools are there, but main tools are like you can say Shodhan and people.com. According to requirement, what is the requirement for that particular software, we can use the tool. Okay, if we are working on the networking, then we will go for Nmap. If we are working on a particular system, then we will go just finding the details of that system, and then based on that we will answer.